Ooh, look at all those wrinkles. My goodness. My goodness, look what I just saw. So, hey, give me a second, literally a second, and then I can say, good afternoon. Good afternoon, yeah. Blonde Cheryl, nice to see you. Showing up as quickly as I showed up. Yeah, there we go. It's a different time for me to do a TikTok live, but you know what? I like to keep things flexible. What can I say? I'm like one of those guys at the what do you call it? The car wash, you know, like the little crazy wavy guy, I believe my niece and nephew used to call it. Rachel or Rochelle, I love the fact that you can hear and see me. Awesome. Yay. Yay. Yes. Breathing a sigh of something going right for a change. Am I right, German maid? Good to see you. Good afternoon, Judy. Just say, Judy, here comes Elroy. Here comes... Wait. His boy, Elroy, Jane, his wife, daughter, Judy. There we go. Sorry. Doing my old Jetsonian type of thing. But so anyway, yeah. So TikTok Live, Destination Decluttered. Marcia, hello, Nashville, Tennessee. We love ourselves some Nashville. Got some musician friends and other friends down there. My husband's a musician. We are overdue for a trip down there, I will say. When I say down there, you can find out two things about me. One is that I'm from New England, and we tend to use down and over and up as travel directions, but also that I am north of Nashville. I am in Pennsylvania, the Philly part of Pennsylvania, though I do love me some Pittsburgh. And we're here I'm going to be here. I don't know how long you can stay along. Stay as long as you're able to. I'm going to be here until 1 p.m. Eastern time. This is a Destination Decluttered TikTok Live. And what I do is I show up live on TikTok, check. And I stick around for an hour, pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, except for when I don't, to help you wherever you're stuck with clutter. I will endeavor to help you get unstuck and moving in the right direction. Now, what's the right direction? The right direction is towards your destination of what you want. This is why I'm a decluttering life coach. And my coaching is called Destination Decluttered because I am a decluttering life coach that travels as much as I can. I'm actually getting the DTs because I've been home for a number of weeks, and it's so unusual because we've had such a busy travel year, and I'm used to that rhythm. So here we are. I'll be here for another 57 minutes. I always show up at the top of the hour. That's the one thing you can pretty much know about me. But my TikTok lives and my YouTube lives are scheduled at different times of the day on different days of the week. And every week it's a little bit different. That keeps it kind of engaging. If I get bored, if I see a pattern and it doesn't benefit me, I will lose interest and I won't even remember to show up. But when something is different all the time, it engages you. Now, that's how my brain works. Maybe it does for you too. But enough about me and my brain. Let's turn it over to you. So what I typically do on these TikTok lives is I will just open it up to y'all, as Carla would say. And I say to you, where in your journey from being cluttered over here, like on a map, cluttered and you're chugging along and you're getting towards decluttered, but maybe there's like a little rock, like a boulder, or there's a couple of bricks in front of you. Where are you stuck in your journey towards just not only living in a decluttered home, but being able to maintain a decluttered home? Give yourself a moment or two to think about where you're stuck. Where have you stopped in your journey towards decluttering? I'm actually pretty good at mine, but then again, I am the professional. Last night, yay me, I dismantled another photo album. Now, I mention this because I'm on my own journey of decluttering, but I'm at the point where my surface clutter, I'm on it. My stored clutter, looking good. I'm at the deepest level right now. I'm at like the advanced level of decluttering, which is sentimental stuff. So surface, stored, sentimental are the three layers, kind of like an archaeological dig. So I offer to you right away, if you are saying that where you are stuck is with your sentimental stuff. What's sentimental clutter? It's photos in a photo album, notes that you wrote to your friends in junior high school, pictures from your family, anything that tells a story, a personal story to you. Whether it's a thing or something written or a picture, that's a sentimental thing. Now, it's okay if you're stuck with that. If you're stuck, though, in the deep weeds, don't be surprised by it because it jams all of us up. What I will offer to you, then, let's back up. Let's back up. Like I was in my car. And let's get out of the deep stuff and just ask you, how is your surface clutter going? Okay? How is your surface clutter going? If your surface clutter is good, then let's go to the next layer down, which is stored clutter. Now, stored clutter sometimes can be sentimental, but sometimes it can just be stuff. Okay? So this is how I help you. The first thing, before I just jump in and start answering questions and whatever, is I want to make sure you're feeling okay. Okay? I want to make sure you're feeling okay physically. So take your hands, wave them in the air like you just don't care, and let's do a body scan. Okay? A scan from your crown on down. How are you feeling physically right now? Do you need to eat? Grab something to eat. You need something to drink? Grab something to drink. You have an ache? Sit differently. Do something that makes you feel like you're doing okay physically. Okay? And the next one in quick succession, because the physical can often be we're more used to correcting those things, becoming aware of them and correcting them than we are the nervous system. Nervous system is going to be the same type of thing. Calm down, slow down, breathe down. Okay? So those couple of things, and I'll help you through this because this is why I show up in your life, okay? So I'm going to back up a little bit here at the comments. And me, who I know is Ellen at this point, made 2 donations yesterday. Yay! 1 tomorrow. Drop off another bag to consign. Rock on. Rock on, lady. Yay. What has happened? When you make a donation, let's back up. You decided that there were some things in your home that you just don't want anymore. And you easily are letting go of them and putting them in a container, putting that container in a vehicle and driving that vehicle to the donation place. Rock on, Ellen. That's the good stuff. Keep it up. Okay. Shannon in retrograde says, any tips on developing a sense of what new purchases are worthwhile versus what will turn into clutter? I have some thoughts. Okay, so Shannon, what I would do, and I've started to do this myself, is I don't go out shopping as much as I do. And I said this before and it resonated with people, so I'll share it again, is I shop to solve problems. Okay? I don't just go out and go to, Boscov's or Filene's or Target or something like that to just look for things to buy, because that's when I may be buying something that seemed like a good idea at the time, but maybe even by the time I get home, I regret the purchase. So I would ask yourself, Shannon, a sense of what new purchases are worth your while versus what will turn into clutter. Ask yourself what it is and why you want to buy it. Now, typically, if something is a useful item, what you might want to do is notice, okay, I'm buying this because it's going to make it easier for me to peel potatoes. All right, so that makes something you are going to do easier. Or if is it just something cute that kind of collects dust? Okay, have a conversation with yourself before you buy it. And also notice this. This has helped me, so I share it with you. Imagine yourself leaving the store and going home, having not purchased the item. Will you get home and say, oh, I wish I had bought that? Or will you be like, oh, no big deal, like kind of an immediate surge of interest, but then it tapers off pretty easily? Now, sometimes this is not an exact science. This is not something that you get right every time. Hence the fact that even me as a decluttering life coach, I have a donation bag I always have a donation bag at the ready for things that just haven't worked out. So try to interview yourself before you purchase it and ask yourself, what is it? Why am I purchasing this? Am I purchasing it because I'm bored? Am I purchasing this because I want to treat myself because I'm feeling lonely? Right here, I just bought something that I've wanted for years, and I bought it because I want it, but I'm also feeling a little bit lonely because my husband's gone. He's on tour. Okay? Have a conversation with yourself, Shannon. Okay? I hope that helps. Now, Bannon, I said, what do you do with that? I didn't see the first part. I apologize. Judy is saying, my daughter asked, when am I going to start my holiday lists? Because last year I was less stressed. Your list ideas have really helped me with my stress. Yay! I'm here to help you with your stress. And hey, Laura GV, nice to see you. So Judy, when are you going to start making your lists? I make my lists year round. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, even putting okay, so Laura says, in my car on the way home, donating 2 blankets along the way. She says, even putting the question screener helps me slow down the impulsivity. And notice, your impulse purchasing may be a habit. Okay, it may just be a habit. And that's okay. We all have habits. We are creatures of the aforementioned habits. And that's how we are wired as humans. But catching yourself to say, am I doing this because I'm not being mindful? I'm just doing it on habit, because of my habits? Or even if I'm doing it because of my habits, do I want to do it? Like stopping yourself before you just immediately do it. Becoming aware of what you're doing can just give you pause to say, do I really need another lime green spatula? And the answer is like, yeah, probably not. You're right, I don't. Even though it's the colors I like. Ooh, the colors, I like them. Pausing and saying, oh, you're right, I don't need that. That's okay. I don't need to buy all the things that are lime green. Okay. Now, Nat, back up, Chloe. Okay, I'm going to help you with this one. My surface clutter feels never ending with my 6-year-old. My stored clutter is a pain point for sure. Okay. So I'm going to help you. And yes, Abbott Elementary, it is a nice day after a lot of shitty ones. Let's revel in it. Okay. And so I'm going to help you. And Marietta, I see your thing too. Marietta in Jersey. Okay. So people are not going to like the answer to this question. But much like it is easier to get comfortable with the reality of something than fight against something that won't change. So I say this to Nat on the backup, okay, who is saying my surface clutter feels never ending. Surface clutter is the stuff that you probably have circles of things you do. What do I mean by that? Not circles, like a flow. Laundry is kind of never done. Dishes are kind of never done because as soon as you do the dishes and the sink is empty and then you go to like cut some cheese. Cut some cheese, you've got a knife that goes in the sink. Getting comfortable with the fact that surface clutter will accumulate and not fighting against it, the thought of it, and getting frustrated by it and ignoring it because getting it piling up is going to make things worse. What I do, and this has really helped me, and especially, again, being the only person in the house now, is doing a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time more often is going to feel like less work, and it won't be any big deal because it's stuff you already know how to do. Now, Nat, the other thing I'm going to offer, and this is how I coach, is getting your 6-year-old involved. One of the reasons why there are people of every age that show up to my TikTok lives and get me as their one-on-one coach is because we didn't learn a good way to declutter when we were younger. So, Nat, you could learn some skills from me by tuning into these YouTube lives and getting on the mailing list and all this, and help yourself to learn what to do better. And then you can pass on that knowledge to your child. This is what we do in this house. Before we go to bed, we spend 10 minutes maybe, if that, and we put away our toys. And we make sure that our dirty clothes are in a hamper and not on the floor. And we brush our teeth, all of our teeth. This is what we do in this house. Because when you're in the habit of doing those little things, it's just part of it. This is what we do when we're closing down our shop for the evening. is we have our closing process so we can lock the door and feel good about when we open the door. So surface clutter will kind of always be there a little bit. Keep it at a little bit, but also get your 6-year-old involved and train them how to be better declutterers. Okay? So yay. Now Marietta is saying, I get really tripped up by returns or things I bought, and have 30 days to return puts me in a panic. I don't know why returns get me so incredibly overwhelmed, but that's an endless source of my clutter. Okay, Marietta, this is what I'm going to go through kind of my thought process when I am, when I'm buying something. Okay, so maybe this will help you. Think about this process. You see something somewhere on the internet, in a store, and you bring it home with you. As soon as you can, find out if it's going to work. So what does this mean? It means try on the clothes. It means see if that thing fits where you think it's going to fit. The sooner you find out, well, no, I'm not saying stop buying stuff. No, Marietta, no, please, you're yelling at yourself. Did I say stop buying stuff? No. Did I just say I bought something? We buy stuff. We live in a capitalist consumerist society. I don't say don't buy it. What I say is tighten up the time that you give yourself to decide whether you want to keep it or not. If you have a 30-day window, decide tell yourself to practice something different. Trying the thing, seeing if it's going to work within the first 48 hours of getting it. Making sure, too, that you have your receipt handy somewhere, okay? So notice, if you give yourself 30 days, you're taking 30 days to make the decision about whether you want something or not, and then you may be scrambling at the end of the 30 days to get in under the wire. You're avoiding making the decision of whether it works or not. Is that, does that sound familiar? I mean, I'm totally going on what I've observed in other clients, but I also observe in myself, is that if I push off the decision, I still am reminding myself, oh, that's right, I got to see, oh, that's right, that's right. And that gets freaking exhausting. So practice a new habit. Stop doing what you're doing. I'm not saying stop the shopping. You're going to be shopping. But tighten up the time that you give yourself to make the decision if you want it or not. And then even then, say to yourself, I give myself 48 hours to decide if I want this or not. And then I give myself a week to return it so I don't get stressed out about missing the 30-day return window. Okay? Okay, so Marietta, I can see your problem right now too. You're overwhelming yourself by looking at the entire big picture and thinking you need to do it all at one time, and all at one time is overwhelming. Okay? All right, so notice you are creating a sense of dread by seeing too many steps in the way. And trust me, doing returns, I actually kind of don't mind doing returns at stores because it gets me out of the house and I get to see things. But yes, packing up things to return can be not so exciting. So notice, Marietta, you have a list. I look at it is step one. But then I think it's work to find the receipt. So then here, put this on your list. Find the receipt is the thing on the list. Check it off. That's all you did that day. Box up the item is another step. You can do that another day. The third day, you can get it to the post office. How about today, Marietta? How about this? During this TikTok Live, there's nothing like some loving accountability and also like a little time container, a little time chunk. Between now and 1 p.m., do you have like a pile of, do you have everything that you want to return somewhere in your house? Chunk it down. You got it, my dear. See, you know. Yeah. Our brains are used to seeing it all and overwhelm, and then we do nothing. I interrupt that. Okay, they're scattered around. Marietta, why don't you gather them all in one place just as we're hanging out together? Okay, get them all in one place. A chunk of you're doing, it's chunking it down is also categorizing. Here is the area where the things I need to return are going to be located. Okay, so do that one bit. and notice that you may feel better about it, simply because scattered things can make you feel overwhelmed, but having it all in one place, you may think, ooh, I have a lot of them, but then we can at least know where they all are. I'm off. You don't have to say, yes, I'm going to do it or not. You could say, yes, I'm doing it. And that will kind of create a connection. All right. So go off and try that. See how it feels. Come back to me when you've got them and say, okay, what's my next step? The next step will be to find your receipts. Okay. Just saying. Check to see if they have their receipts. If not, where are my receipts? Okay. Now, here's an interesting thing. I tend to keep my receipts in one place, even for things I'm pretty sure. Okay, Marietta, you got this. Seriously, hon, I am so here for you. And we are all cheering you on that by the end of this TikTok Live, you will be further along in your destination towards getting this stuff I don't want out, these returns out of my house, than you were when you started. Okay? Now, Judy says, I wish I would have kept last year's list. Was that your holiday prep lists? Okay, so notice this, Judy. Last year, you felt better because you and I had been pretty much hanging out on these TikTok Lives and YouTubes. And you learned how calming it can be and how much more in control you feel when you write down the thoughts in your head about that stuff. Now, last year, you were only just newly experimenting with this, so you didn't realize to even think, will this list help me next year? But now you have experience. Now, you wish you would have kept your list last year. Now, there may be some certain things that repeat year after year. So how about this, Judy? Make your wish come true by making a list this year and putting it somewhere where you can use it in 2026. You can't go back in time and do it any differently, but you can start today with intention to say what is specific about this year, but also what's kind of my master list. You know, I have a checklist right here that I have on this folder that I have that keeps random, like, big surprise, travel stuff in it. Flights, check. Lounge plan, check. Hotel, check. Airport parking plan, check. Hold mail, check. Rental car, check. Dinner or activities reservations, check. I have this, and I just have it stuck here in the folder, to remind myself of those are the things that I typically do every single time I do travel. So learn from your wishes and do differently right now so that next year at this time, Judy will say, yay, I'm so psyched that I made that list last year. Does that help, Judy? Okay, notice Judy is bad about writing my lists in different notebooks instead of sticking with one. Practice sticking with one notebook. This is the thing. I see it all the time, people. I see it all the freaking time. My people, us, for whatever reason, we think another notebook is going to solve the problems. It's got a better cover. I like how this one is. Whatever. I say, Judy, just like Marietta, gather up all of your notebooks in one place, but practice using only one until it's done. Okay? Notice, things scattered around cannot feel good. If you've outed yourself as being somebody who puts a note here and a note there and that, it's not really helping you. So practice doing something different. Now, as I said, I have a little checklist here and I've got a notebook here. I have a few specific places where I keep lists. I have my daily list in my notebook right here and the things that I want to do that week. I do the brain dump. I have a place on my computer in Trello that I keep. I don't even know how many lists I have, but when I go to look for the thing, I know my list is there. I also have a little clipboard in the kitchen. When I want to make a shopping list, I put it there. Yeah. German Maid is offering, make the list on your computer and save it in folders with your favorite holiday recipes. If you happen to have a folder with your favorite holiday recipes. Now, here's something that this has worked out well for me, so I'll share it with you as well, because that's why I'm here. Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, is this. I will make the list for the following year, and I will put a note on my calendar, because my calendar, I use that as another resource to help me put my stuff. And I will bop ahead until, let's say, November 1st of 2026. And I would put a reminder on November 26th or the November 1st of 2026 saying, remember that your holiday checklist is in that file folder and you've made a decision of where it goes. You're being mindful about where you're putting those thoughts. Okay? Now, here is the fun thing. I think this is pretty cool. Decluttering your thoughts and decluttering your physical objects are the same thing. Because what you're doing to make it easier for you to find what you're looking for is you are being intentional about creating a home for those items. The thought goes in the notebook lives here. The, mug that I want to keep goes in this cupboard. The Christmas thing I want to do goes in the tote in the basement until I bring it up, and then I put it out, and then when Christmas is done, I put it in the tote and it goes back in the basement. So it is the same concept. So think about that. And notice how already too, in this TikTok live, 2 people have expressed that notion of scattered makes them not feel good. Things are scattered kind of everywhere and it doesn't feel good. This is where we play back and forth, the opposite. What's the opposite of scattered? It's going to be like all together. All together now, all together now. Right. There we go. And here, Judy. I'm not very good at either. Yeah, you're getting better though. You're getting better all the time. Stop telling yourself crappy stories about yourself, Judy. Enough of this. Cut the shit. And I say this with love. Stop talking to yourself. I'm not very good at that. How about I wasn't as good as I wasn't good about that in the past, but now I'm getting better all the time. Better, better, better. Catch yourself when everybody here. Catch yourself when you're talking trash to yourself and stop it. Cut it out. Like you caught a puppy doing something not good. Stop it. Stop it as soon as you catch it and correct it so it doesn't happen again. Yes, but getting better with your help, let's zhuzh that up. I am getting better at decluttering my mind and my house. And you can put like a with your help on there. I don't mind because that's, thank you. Okay? Everybody, you don't realize how talking trash to yourself can create a feeling. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. Do not. It is so much more pleasant to talk nicely to yourself. Okay? Practice that. You thought it, Judy. You wrote it down. Even stop writing down. Stop it. You put your traffic cop hand out and say, wait, how could I make that sound better? And I do this myself too. Trust me. I do. But the more frequently you interrupt your negative way of presenting things and replace it with a more helpful, loving thought, you'll feel better and you'll be encouraged to do better. When you feel better, feeling better gives you courage. Feeling better about many of the what do you want to call them? Election results. That gives you courage. We can make a change. Things are getting better. I'm not alone in thinking that that person's bad and this person can help us. Having courage encourages you, hence the word, encourages you to get up and take action in the direction you want to go. Again, okay? So, Judy, I hope you don't think I was beating you up. You know I love you. But a little tough love, okay? I say it because I love it, okay? Now, who else? Who else is stuck with clutter? Is anybody decluttering as we speak? Because I'm going to be here for another half an hour, and all you're going to see on the screen is you'll probably see people's comments scrolling back, and you're going to see my goofy face. And there we go. Okay, damn it, Donna. Me. Oh, Mr. Cotter, pick me. Okay. There we go. Okay, so here's the deal. I got a me and I got a I am. So give me some details, people. All right. I can't work with. You got to give me some. You got to give me some meat on them bones. Okay. I love it. Okay, so I love it. I hope the me's and I am and yes are the people who are decluttering as I speak. I don't mind being. I guess I'd be the bell in the Pavlov's dog. Okay. So yeah, 3 chiclets clearing off my Hoosier cabinet. So I'm thinking, are you a Hoosier mama? Get it? Who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Don't worry, I'll be here with my wacky vaudeville humor all week. Yay, German maid just loaded the dishwasher, scooped litter, vacuumed, and now laundry. Yay. I love it. Clearing off the Hoosier cabinet. All of these things that people have just described about what they're doing to declutter as this TikTok live is going on are what I would say examples of kind of not only surface clutter, but also surface kind of routines. Can you imagine how much more stinky your house would be if you allowed the cat poop to pile up and only scooped it infrequently? It's the same concept with every other thing in your house. The sooner you deal with it, the sooner it doesn't get stinky, and the sooner you just don't even make a big deal of it. You know? I cat sat for somebody earlier this year. As many of you know, I went out to one of my favorite places on the planet, Palm Springs, California. And boy, did I notice how stinky that box could get very quickly. So I made sure that I did it. I scooped that stuff on the regular. Now, I will share with you, I didn't particularly enjoy scooping the cat litter, but that's why I don't have a cat at home. But if I had a cat and I loved my cat enough to scoop its poop, I would do it more frequently, okay? And just a little bit as opposed to like a giant pile of poop. Yeah. Okay? So, okay, there we go. Brittany says, I am majorly struggling. Oh, we don't want that. With toy clutter, girl dinner, bins and bins of random little toys. Okay? So, Brittany, are these your toys or are they your mate's toys or your kids or your grandkids? Whose toys are they? And I'm just curious. I got a couple of ideas and I can help you with that, Brittany. Okay, my girl's 8 and 9 years old. Okay, so Brittany, a couple of things, and I said this earlier today to somebody up thread, and I don't remember any of the details except they had a 6-year-old. I apologize. Oh, I think it was the girl with the butterfly in her thing. Nat, maybe? Anyhow, what I want to offer to you, Brittany, is the sooner you get your girls involved with getting used to the habit of cleaning up your own stuff, the easier it will be. Now, getting this up and running may be a little bit difficult because they're not used to it, but it's going to serve you in the long run to raise children who are used to taking care of their own stuff and not making a big drama about it. But if you don't know how to do that yourself, it's going to be hard to teach them. So I'm here to teach you. And what you learn from me, please share with them. So notice what's making your struggle. I see the ingredients. Toy clutter, general, bins and bins. So the quantity of bins sounds like it is causing it. Many of us get easily overwhelmed when a number seems too big. Because if you just said bins, but bins and bins implies too much. Okay? And then random toys, the randomness versus the organized, or categorized rather, and little toys. Notice the randomness and the size and the quantity, and having to go through and be like, you know, is this the kind of like the Barbie doll shoe here? And here's the, see, I don't have kids, so I'm trying to think. And this is the Lego head here. Okay. So notice this, totally. My girls don't even play with them because they are disorganized. So notice that the disorganization, and I tend to notice what I'm doing here. I'm using the words you use and finding out where we can flip things over to the other side. Okay? So getting, for example, before I hit with the disorganization, notice bins and bins feels awful. So maybe not as many bins as I currently have. Random toys to organized, categorized toys. Little toys, well, they're little, but, categorize the little toys. So one of the things you may need to, that could get you started, is noticing that your toys aren't even being enjoyed anymore because disorganization is taking the joy out of it. So, Brittany, this is how it usually would go, and this is what I would call stored clutter or surface clutter, is when you realize that things are disorganized and scattered all around, and it feels ugh. And here's this, and this is the thing. I've organized them, she shares. I've organized them before, but they didn't put them away. Now, much like I gave Judy some tough love earlier, I want you to be firm and loving with your daughters, knowing that you're doing it for the good reason. You're not being mean and making them pick up. You are helping train them to be humans that are responsible for their own stuff, even at the ages of 8 and 9. Now notice that when you organized it, they didn't put it away. So I would highly recommend getting them involved in the organization process. And this is one of the reasons I say this, because this will be practice for them. But one of the ways you're going to help them get better at decluttering and yourself. Yeah, Brittany, as I said up thread, I was never taught these things and I'm learning myself. You learn from me, you practice this, and then you can better train your girls, and then it has a positive ripple effect. So what I would say is, one of the things about decluttering is decision making. Do I want that or not? Okay, so it doesn't necessarily need to be the first thing, but what you could do is you could say to your girls, hey, we're playing organization, okay? And you could set a time where you all sit down on the floor and each one of you dumps out a bin and you try to play what I call matchy-matchy. Where are some categories? Here's all the stuff for the Barbies. Here's all the stuff for the Tonka trucks. Here's all the stuff for the play kitchen. Here's all the puzzle pieces. Here's a pile of whatever. Organizing. Notice all you're doing is putting like items together. Okay? And that can be fun. Put on some music. Don't put on the TV because they may start watching a cartoon or something, but make it fun. Not be like, it's time to clean up your room. Because that ain't fun. Nobody's going to show up for that. But you're like, hey, you guys, I learned this thing on TikTok today. We're going to play categories. Okay, what goes with what? Getting them physically and mentally involved in the process will help. Okay? Then you have a better idea of what you have, and then you could lead on to. Now, that may just be enough for the day. Great work. This was so fun. Now we can put things back in a more organized fashion. But also, this is what I call planting a seed. Plant the seed in their brain to start thinking about, if there are any of these toys that you no longer want to play with, let's make that category and make a pile of them over there, and we can donate them to people who have no toys at all. Introduce that early on, but don't put any pressure. Allow them to realize that it is safe and they will not get in trouble by saying, I don't want that anymore. And if they say, I don't want those toys, zip it and don't try to convince them to keep it. Because that's how things get jammed up. Okay? Now, 3 Chicklets is saying too, from a different perspective, believe me and do it now with your 8 and 9-year-old, or you'll still be helping them declutter in their 30s, because that's what 3 Chicklets is doing right now. Okay? And I love this. Lexi is saying, I got my 2 kids to help organize their clothes, and now they can put away their clothes after laundry. And so notice what you're doing. Notice what you're doing. You are creating awesome people. Imagine your kids as teenagers going off to a college and sharing a dorm room with somebody. Do you want them to be the slobby kid? Or do you want them to make no big deal of keeping a tidy home when they're sharing it with somebody else? Okay? Even even living alone. Do you want them to be slobby and hoardy? If you don't want that for them, teach them a different way. And if you don't know it, this is why I show up. And I'm just looking over here because I just want to check. I do TikTok lives and YouTube lives pretty much Monday through Friday on TikTok and YouTube. They're scheduled at different times of the day because I want to catch as many people. Not everybody has the same schedule. Okay. We also do decluttering parties. This could be a thing where, Brittany, I'm just riffing here, but hopefully you're on the mailing list. If you're not on a part of the mailing list group, the mailing list group is just the list of people that get access to all this good stuff, and it's free getting on the list. And if you're interested in like the declutter parties or the schedule of when I do TikTok lives and YouTube lives, if you want to download a habit tracker and have your kids you practice, like I did my decluttered for 10 minutes. All of that is available to you if you are part of the mailing list group. And that, how you join that, all the people on the group, is go to destinationdecluttered.com. It's my website, destinationdecluttered, kind of one word, .com. Scroll down to the bottom, email, hit join, boom, you're in it. That will get you an automatic email with a link to a secret page. And we've got 9 declutter parties scheduled for November. A declutter party is seriously just an hour and a half where we all get on Zoom and we declutter with other people. We declutter our own houses at the same time somebody else's. So it can be fun. There can be some camaraderie. There's problem solving because I'm there with you. Okay. So again, I'm just riffing here that depending upon when your girls are around and if that sounds interesting to you, you guys could be part of one of the declutter parties. Yeah. Friday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Friday, Monday, all the way up until right before Thanksgiving. Different days of the week, different times of the day. And all of that is, you don't have to take notes on it because it's all on a hidden page on my website that's only available to people that are part of the email group. And the reason is because I want to keep out the trolls. I want it to be a safe space and not a lot of randos. Okay. So I love this. Blonde Cheryl is saying also as a vote of encouragement, like it was almost like the ghost of Christmas. If you don't do this, you could be decluttering your kids in their 30s. Who the hell wants to do that? Also, Blonde Cheryl is encouraging, saying, my daughter used to love donating her toys at Christmas time. Yeah. Reminding your kids how lucky they are to have as many toys, but that they can also be people who share their abundance versus being greedy and wanting it all. Greed is what gets us stuck in bad situations. Realizing your abundance and feeling happy to share what you have. Who do you want to hang out with? What kind of person are you growing? A greedy, selfish person, or somebody who is comfortable and is grateful for that and realizes that they're luckier than some other people, and so they can help the people who don't have as much. They can take care of their toys. That type of thing. Okay? There we go. Judy says declutter parties are so helpful. I'm going to sign up for Monday. I love it. Yeah, go for it. We do. Yeah, the next one. Actually, this is funny. I kind of forgot. Today is Wednesday. We have one on Friday too. We have one on Friday. The whole schedule's there. Okay? And I specifically, just as a heads up, I know that this pre-holiday, oh yay! Laura Gibbon Voorhees has cute little Daniel Tiger. Kitty gave another fluffy hug. He likes us. Maybe if you could talk to the animals, just imagine it. I guess I'm talking to the animals. There are a lot of declutter parties before Thanksgiving, specifically for 2 reasons. One is, I want to be there to help you start your holiday planning sooner rather than later. And that will feel better. To make those lists sooner rather than later. To get a plan in place sooner rather than later feels good, as opposed to rushing up to the edge like Marietta and being like, oh, I got to do it all at once. Marietta, I hope you found all your return your items to return, and I hope you found you're playing matchy with the return and its receipt as well. Okay, I'm cheering you on. All right. And Judy, who's part of the group, didn't even know that there was a declutter party on Friday too. So she's going to check what I like to call the secret page. Yeah, Friday, Sunday, and Monday of this week are some. Then there's a couple more that are West Coast friendly time, as this time may be for some of you, because I'm East Coast and I'm an early bird. And, but I know not everybody who has clutter is on the same kind of circadian or what's the word I'm thinking of? Calendar that I am. So Thursday and Saturday, we've got some that are kind of around this time of day that may be early, not so bad in the morning for my West Coasties, and maybe a little bit more civilized for some people who are available. So I try to be there for as many people as I can, knowing when my sweet spots are, and that I'm not going to be just Erasmus be dragging into the into it when it was too late at night. Okay. So the declutter parties is something you can do yourself too. Is basically it's a fun group effort of setting a timer and saying I'm going to declutter for 20 minutes, and when the 20 minutes is over, I'm going to take a break. And it can be really helpful. And I will offer too, Judy, I'm just saying, start your lists today, and then you'll have a better understanding of what you can work on Friday. But if you don't start your lists, making lists, writing down and making a plan, carving out the time, that chunk of time to do the thing, make the list, make the plan, that will make you feel better, can make you feel better. Okay? So that's why I show up to help you with this stuff. Okay? Kit Kat is asking about the price of the declutter parties. Happy to share that with you. It's $20 per party, and I decided earlier this year that the way I was going to set those up was I had begun to donate half of the proceeds from the declutter parties to a local women's shelter. What I'd realized was as this year got worse and worse and worse with the current regime, I wanted us to up the ante, so I removed my percentage of it. And so 100% of your ticket price for a declutter party is donated to a not the shelter anymore because they changed, but a food bank, local food bank here. Just to give you an idea, I wrote it down somewhere, and I think it was in one of the emails I sent, but last month we were able to send $200 to the food bank. Over the course of this year with the declutter parties, we have donated, and let me see if I can find it really quick, because I was kind of happily, I know where the number would be. Let me see if I could here we go. This year already we have raised over $3,600 has been donated to people that don't have what we have. And it's by a $20 donation at a time. And it's not just a donation, because you are showing up to get stuff done for yourself. And so how good does it feel to be yes, I can help myself and I can help other people. And one of the reasons I charge for these parties is because when you pay for something, you show up differently than if it's for free. So it's a way to encourage you to show up to do the thing that you might not do on your own. Now, the cool thing is these parties, people always show up at them. So I never get into like convincing you or forcing you or making you into fear. If you feel like you can show up and time yourself and get stuff done by yourself, by all means do it. But there's a lot of fringe benefits that people find helpful to do the declutter parties. So I dig what I'm doing, but I will say this too. There also will be far fewer of them in December because I have some stuff going on. Okay? Now I love this. Melissa says, getting ready to take down my Halloween decor and see what I really need to, and I would say / want to keep. Notice how you decorated for this past holiday. It's crazy to believe that was just a few days ago. Do you like how you decorated? Was it not enough decor? Was it too much decor? Or did it feel just right? Now I'll offer to you, I am at it feels just right. The amount of time, the amount of space my decor takes up in the basement, the amount of ease with which I was able to easily decorate, and the easy way I took it down and put it back in a container and easily put it down the basement, I have hit the sweet spot with my pumpkins like nobody's business. There was nothing I felt like I wanted to declutter as I have from years past. And there's absolutely nothing that I feel like I need to add to my decor. It is the sweet spot. So Melissa, I wish that for you too. Now, did it take me years to get to that sweet spot? Yeah. Yeah, because I went overboard as a younger person in my 20s and 30s and 40s and a new homeowner, and being able to and seeing and being impressed by all those people with all the decor. And I thought I wanted to be one of those maximalists. And I mean, think about it. We know that the holiday lights are coming up for Christmas and all the December things. I love looking at those things and I enjoy it, but man, I don't like doing it. I like a certain amount that looks and feels good to me and it feels easy to put up my decor. Anything more than that, I've started to let go of. And every year I have definitely decreased, if not eliminated. I do not bring any new holiday stuff into my home. It only goes out or stays. Okay? So I offer that to you to start thinking about, how do you want to decorate for the upcoming holidays? Do you like what you did last year? Do you just want to repeat that? What didn't you like about what you did last year? And then, Judy, everybody, grab one notebook, one pen, and write this down. Now, this is neat. Abbott Elementary, and hey, I got the fines. Abbott Elementary says putting up less this year. So she wrote that in the comments. Abbott Elementary, I would write that down in your notebook as well. Because the comments here are very transitional. It kind of is like saying something and then whoosh, it dissipates. Yeah. So I got the fine says, I decorate very little. It's a lot of work. Yeah. And here's the sweet spot. And this is this sweet spot of getting the result you want with the effort that you're willing to put into it. You know? And is finding that right space, that it doesn't feel like a lot of work and you like the results you have. That's what we're going for. Now, this is interesting. Laura Gibbon Voorhees, and I love that kind of idea of thinning the herd of what is there so my Thanksgiving stuff can stay. Yeah, and so here's an interesting way to think about this too, so I'll just offer this to you. Sometimes having a lot of space to put stuff actually can bite you in the bum when you are decluttering, because you're like, well, if I have the space to put it, but everything you own is something you are now responsible for. Okay? And I just offer to you, making sure one of the ways you can keep yourself in check is by saying that only this amount of space will be devoted to that kind of decor. Like me, I'm at the point where all our Halloween decor fits in one tote and I love it. So I don't bring anything else in, you know? So notice what you have and how much space it takes up. Yeah. Hey, there we go. Kara says, after yesterday's live, I pulled a bunch of unsolds to donate. Talk about destination, getting that stuff out of your house. There's many ways to do it. Yay. And she says, and I'm moving towards eBay. Yay. Good for you. Atta girl, as Laura Gibbon Voorhees says. Now, Jessie says, I inherited multiple totes of my grandmother's decorations that I've moved 10 years. So here's what I can easily tell these truths because I'm feeling okay saying these things. So let me introduce this thought to you, Jessie. First of all, this is kind of the same thing said in different ways. Just because your grandmother liked those decorations doesn't mean you have to like those decorations or use them, or as you found out, even unpack them. If she liked them, rock on, Grammy, but it doesn't mean you have to like them, okay? The other thing, the slightly more deeper thing, Jesse, is this. If you don't like their stuff, it doesn't mean you don't like the person. You letting go of the Christmas decor that was owned by your grandmother doesn't mean you're letting go of your grandmother or you don't like her, okay? And notice, there is part of you that already is nodding its head because it says you've moved them for 10 years. Have you opened them and used them? Okay? So, yeah, I'm constantly reminded. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I got switched around here. So, let that sink in. Maybe this is the year that you open up and just double check with yourself. Is there anything in these boxes that I want now? And if the answer is no, please, this is the best time of year to donate holiday decor because so many people are looking for it. And as I Got the Fine says, when she says, I'm definitely not buying anything in this economy, there are many more people than ever before who were probably going to be shopping in thrift stores or, sales at churches and stuff than ever before. So this might be the exact perfect time for you to release trugging along these 10 totes, okay? Yeah. And notice I Got the Fines is saying, I'm constantly reminded someone is going to have to deal with my junk. And who is it? Is it Jesse? Yeah, Jesse knows what it feels like to have to deal with somebody else's junk. You can stop that at any time. Yeah. There we go. Now, Jesse says, I do use some of them, so those are no longer your grandmother's. They're yours now, and you got them from your grandmother. But notice, and you're saying you must get rid of some. How about I would like to get rid of some, I want to get rid of some? Must and should feel very whatever. If that helps you release some, by all means, use that word. But just be gentle to yourself. You may get better results being nice to yourself than mean to yourself. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Yeah, if they're old decorations, eBay is also good, but I will share with you. Kara will attest. Kara is saying the point is to get rid of stuff and make money. I can't lose sight of both of those goals. But at one point, one of them is going to take over than the other. So making money from your stuff takes a longer amount of time and energy than it does to donate stuff. Just sharing that truth with you. Everybody here would agree. Okay? Yeah. And so if you can make money from your stuff, that's good, but you will need to invest more time and more energy to make the money. Okay? There we go, Ellen. And yeah, we've only got about 2 minutes left here too. The thing I will offer to you is if you don't want to sell your stuff, it's okay. If you donate your stuff, even if it's old stuff, you're helping somebody else. Excuse me, I got a cough. There are people out there who go and maybe they are needing the money more than you do. Maybe there are people who are trying to pay their rent by buying stuff at a thrift store and selling it on eBay. So I offer to you, even if you donate that stuff, you may be helping somebody more than even if you made the money yourself. No, I Got the Fine says, yes, selling on Poshmark and eBay can be annoying. If you don't want to be annoyed, I'm in the era of saying, I just want to get it out of my house. So I am easily donating things that I had kept for years that I struggled to think, am I going to sell this stuff? So I just offer to you, check yourself and do whatever feels right to you. But if selling it feels like a big pain in the ass, it's totally okay to donate your stuff, okay? So here we go. TikTok Live, check. What's next on my agenda? Dismantle one photo album. So I am decluttering my sentimental items. And much like I asked Marietta how she was doing and if she was going to do stuff, I am setting a goal to that one photo album right there. I will have dismantled that before tonight's YouTube Live. And yeah, totally check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know it. So we have a YouTube Live coming up. I will tell you it's 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And we have TikTok Lives and YouTube Lives tomorrow and the next day and some parties. And so we have some more next week, all that good stuff. All of that is scheduled, and the scheduled is shared with you when you're part of the email group. And if you are part of the email group, you know where to look. And if you're not part of the email group and you want to join, destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, put your email address in there, hit the join. You're in like Flynn, okay? In the meantime, I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to move my body. I'm going to get something to drink, get something to eat. I'm going to have a good rest of the day. I'll check back in with all y'all on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern until 9. And I hope you have a good day. Always a fun time hanging out with yourself. You can do this. And if you don't know how, that's why I show up to help you with it, all right? Later, taters.